Wednesday, October 22nd, 2014. This is the tour for the back of the property. The wildflowers are blooming pretty good. This is going up to the back. Rough cut steps and into the side of the hill here. This is the path, one of the paths. That's an agave, and there's some Barbados cherries I've just transplanted up here. Sorry if it's getting dizzy watching this, but I don't have a setting on here to fix that I know of, using the new iPhone 6 to record this. And it may be kind of hard to tell, but going up pretty steep hill. It's a little seating area, flat rock I found, uncovered. Kind of looking around from this flat spot. See a pile of wood that I've cut. And then this is the berm I've been working on. This berm runs across the hill, and I dug it out the first couple of years ago, 2 to 3 foot deep, filled it with brush, straw, cardboard, trimmings from the trees and stuff. And it sank down to about ground level, so I dug some other trenches, or little ditches leading to the berm, so when it does rain, this water will flow down into the berm. But you can see what our soil looks like here, and those rocks is what I took out of that ditch. See that ditch? Now I planted this berm after I got it built. I planted it with black-eyed peas, fixed some nitrogen in it, filled it again with more paper and stuff and brush. So, and I covered it with coffee grounds and the shreddings from my wood chipping. So there's about 100 plants up here, trees that I planted that are going to be deciduous trees that will fall and make leaf litter, because most of the trees up here are oak, are mostly cedar, and they don't give good leaf litter. But walking up this ditch, you'll see a mulberry tree. There I've got them. The tree's basically surrounded by some chicken wire to keep deer from eating them. And back here where you can see the wood chips around bodark tree. And then this is the back of the property back here. And then you can see another ditch here that starts and runs down to the berm, feeding the berm. And there's another rock pile, rocks I took out of this ditch. There's another tree there. That's a black locust tree. Black locust fixes nitrogen and gives good leaf litter. This is another bodark tree. You can see the wood chips around it. Not sure how good that is going to come out. There's another one back over here. So the back side of the property I planted bodark black locusts, and there'll be a kind of a understory tree for the cedars. This is another ditch, runs down into the berm. Just walk down it a little bit. You can see feeding into the berm there. And this is picking up dirt, topsoil that's washing down when it rains. Another view of the wood pile and some more of the trees that are planted along this berm. Got cherry, hazelnut, crabapple. It's kind of an experiment to see what will grow up here. This is a chia plant. I planted some chia seeds up here to see if I was kind of surprised the deer haven't eaten them. But they're doing pretty good. Looks like they're fixing to flower. There's another ditch looking straight down. See my shadow. Following that ditch on up. This ditch kind of curves around. Again, more rock piles that I took out of the ditch. And I sifted this dirt, and that's what I used, the dirt that I used to make the berm, the current berm now, with the height that is now. There's some grass growing down here that had never grown before because I've trimmed up all these cedars, lets more light in. So anything that I can get to grow that's not a sticker, I'm all for it. A lot of lantana up here. Again, the back side of the property, looking back, and I think that's a black locust tree. There's another one back through there, if you can see it. There's another one there. This is a sycamore tree. It's a volunteer that was growing up down by the house by our big sycamore, and put it up here. And then there's another ditch here that is feeding this ditch, which is the extension of the current ditch, and that'll be filled in at some point. And this is looking back down that ditch. I've got some bougainvillea planted next to those rocks there. Hopefully that'll cover those rocks. So this ditch here, you can see I've got the bottom of it is reached the rock, so I'll fill that in with this dirt here. Of course, trimmings and cardboard and paper, and that'll continue out that way. This ditch here goes up and around, and I've got another mulberry and sycamore and another mulberry over there. So this is getting to the north edge of the property, and that's my shredder. That's what I use to make my wood chips that I've used around all these trees. Around all the trees I planted, I put a pretty good layer of coffee grounds and then a good layer of wood chips. It'll hold the moisture. These little wildflowers are spreading nicely. know if you can see the butterfly flying around there. Seems to like these little wildflowers. And that's a better picture of the chipper shredder. And then this is another view looking back south to the existing berm and the new berm. And there's another wood pile here. And then there's some more tree trimmings that I'm going to be shredding. And that's again looking back to the back side of the property. You can maybe kind of tell how my property has been cleared of a lot of the low-hanging brush as compared to the neighbors back there. But this pretty good hill going up, the neighbors are up high at the top up there, so that water comes falling down here and feeding my berms and all these berms. I've got more berms that I've done over the years that have just kind of raked up the cedar trimmings, and you can kind of see where the water kind of washes these cedar trimmings into these berms that I've raked through here. And it's a good layer of oak trees, but the oak leaves take a long time to break down, so that's why I'm planting these other kinds of trees that will have some leaves that'll break down a little quicker. And hopefully those ditches will fill up with the leaf and make some good humus. And then I'll plant those ditches with maybe some fruit trees and understory trees and shrubs that will help hold that soil in and build up the soil. As you can see, the soil is really not too much to it. It's just mostly a bunch of rocks, and so it's not ideal for planting anything on yet, but I'm building up the soil, building up soil. That's what I want to do over there, up there, so other stuff can grow. So now I'm coming down toward the house, toward the backyard. On the north side of the property. And you can kind of see, maybe you can, I don't know. Looks pretty up here though, to me. And then, compared to what it used to be, you couldn't even walk up here because there was so much brush and dead wood. So, again, looking back south. And this is kind of another stairway going up or down. And you see the backyard. I'm building a bed in the backyard. I've got a little greenhouse I'm going to put on it. And this is a stand of bamboo. It's been here about 20-something years. It's a clumping bamboo, so it hasn't spread, not invasive, but it's really big and pretty. And this is our deer pond, bird pond. They give them a drink. You can see how thick that bamboo is. And see the back side of the house. And this is the new bed that I'm working on. I've got it about halfway done. I've sifted the dirt that I pulled out of here. I planted black-eyed peas on it, fixed nitrogen, and I sifted all that dirt out again. and took the grass and weeds and stuff out, and now I've got it covered with a thick layer of coffee. And on top of that coffee I'm putting, well, under the coffee I'm putting the paper, and then coffee grounds on top of the paper, and then I'm covering the coffee grounds with cardboard, and then a thick layer of mulch. And this is going to be for the new greenhouse. This is a keyhole garden. I built that, brought the rocks that I've taken down from up the hill you saw, and built the little round keyhole. Beets did real well in there this year, and garlic, pork and garlic. Oops, there's a little lizard that is trapped in the wheelbarrow. So I don't know if you can see him or not. Well, let's see if we can get you out of there. There you are. Go eat some bugs. This fence here, I planted some temporary beans on, and they've done just really great this year. I've got a whole bunch of seed, and deer hadn't seemed to eat them too bad, but you can see what the little beans look like. Little peas, they look like, the green one. Like you can come out here and pick this just pretty much every day. And this is another bed that I had going under that fence. I haven't finished it out, but I've got that. Again, my technique is to layer it with coffee grounds, and I'll dig that out. Plant some more garlic and onions and stuff down there. And this is the back garden. Those beans there are lima beans. They're just doing really great right now. Putting on beans, blooming, taking over back here. And this is the inside here. I've got Anastasia beans planted right in here. And some tomatoes in here, but they're never made. And then back here is the okra. There's a volunteer peach tree that came up, and it's kind of holding up this pepper plant. Look at all the peppers on this thing. It's loaded. Pretty spicy peppers too. But they're just all over the place. It's still blooming. And we've got lettuce and stuff planted in this bed. Hadn't come up yet. Along here, some more lettuce that we've got planted. Arugula's already sprouting. You can see that. And then this asparagus. And these little beans are little bean plants that have come up just from what fell off when I started harvesting this other side here. Got green beans and black-eyed peas along that fence. You see the back of the house. And this is a plum tree, a pear tree, and there's a couple of fig trees right over here. And here's a couple of raised beds. Got black-eyed peas planted in there, and there's a tomato plant, and got more of the view of the lima beans here. See if you can see one there. Haven't filled out it yet, but they're working on it. Green beans are about done, but they were really lush and thick at one point. And of course, all of these papayas are volunteers. They keep popping up. I may take those and the tomatoes into the greenhouse this year and see what happens. And another view of the pepper plant. Man, it's loaded. And this is our 4 o'clocks. Those things will grow anywhere with no care. Pretty amazing. And I've got another bed here prepared for more garlic and onion on the outside. I'm planting the garlic and the onions on the outside of the fence this year instead of the inside because the deer won't eat them. Save the inside of the garden fence. See another view of this side of the garden fence. This is another 360 around. This is another view of the garden that I'm working on now. So that's the tour.